Oh shit.
Blue 42, Blue 42, hut. It's the end of football season.
Aww.
And even though
Regular
we're
season.
horror, right? Yes, regular season.
Yeah.
Beef Wine and Shenanigans, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to do something very uncharacteristic today. We're going to start off talking about football, but just because.
Yes.
And then later on, we're going to dive deep into this fucking Katt Williams thing.
Everybody gets a man unit. Everybody. You get a man unit. You get a man unit. You get a man unit.
Oh my God. Oh, look at Mark's face. He's holding. Ooh, he's
I made that
giving
same face, but I didn't know what a
eye.
man unit was. I didn't even know what a man unit was.
Well,
Oh God.
Let's not forget, Mark is married and respectable. As for the rest of us, I'm Stephen Van Patten, as always, joined by Denise Tapscott,
Hello.
Kirk Johnson, and
Degenerates unite.
And of course, the very respectable Mark Abbott.
Academics in the house.
Exactly. So, football season.
Yes. New Orleans Saints. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, they didn't do so good either, but all right.
But we murdered the Atlanta Falcons in our last game, so I am pleased. It was a glorious win.
Let's be real though. The Atlanta Falcons, I mean,
our whole division was trash. I know you guys aren't like big football guys, but like all the teams, like 3 of the 4 teams in our division were like 8-8, 8-8, 8-8. There's no one glorious and amazing. No, they all suck. They're just like mediocre at best, except for the Carolina Panthers. They are trash.
Really
trash.
Bad. Really bad.
Really
really bad.
Yes.
And then everybody else is either like clinching or close to clinching or there's a lot of random for this whole football season. And for those of you that don't know, when I'm not stage managing Tamron Hall, I do have a football show that I stage manage every Sunday at the crack of dawn, which is very unvampiric of me, but you know, these
it's
bills
so dark
ain't paying
now.
themselves. It is so dark when I get there. There's no doubt about
right,
that.
That part's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
You get dressed at 12 in the midnight, so yeah.
Basically. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And what's actually kind of interesting about all that too is, of course, they make predictions. They make bold ass predictions at the end. It's like, no, this team's going to win, this team's going to win, this team's going to win. And these are people, like some of them have actually played football.
The game.
Some of them have actually been out there, like
definitely.
Among shout out to Kyle Long, Howie Long's son, who you know
also played football. Yeah,
played for the Bears and and the Chiefs.
Bears.
And it's so funny, because they'll go through the whole first 6 games of how things are going to go, and at best they go 4-2. Most of them, honestly, there's 3-3. This is that and the other, because the funny thing is, you watch them talking about the games and whatever, and you're like, shit, I should be listening and go run out and start putting some money on this. But they ain't doing any better than the rest of us.
No, exactly.
They're really not.
Well, there was some crazy stuff too, like for Aaron Rodgers to be injured after like the 2nd minute of the first game. Nobody saw that coming.
Well,
the comedy.
In that case, you just write the Jets off for the season.
Yeah, then you have to. Yeah,
but not everybody does that. And then
I think it's a tradition. I think it's a tradition ever since Joe Namath left that the Jets got written off.
Like the Jets curse.
Like Joe Namath left, and all of a sudden it was like,
well, look,
and
New York sports teams. New York sports teams in general are horribly mismanaged.
Oh gosh.
As and as reprehensible a man as George Steinbrenner was, at least he kind of kept the Yankees on track. He's gone, and it's like, that's it. Nobody knows what to do. And I'm not even going to get into Nolan and the Knicks and all that other shit. But as far as football goes, this was a remarkable season, I want to say. And not just because of Aaron Rodgers thing, Denise. That was, even though that was like amazing, that was like you can't even make that shit up.
Right.
You know,
for real.
It comes in from Green Bay. He's supposed to be this, and mind you, as a human being, I'm not a big fan of Aaron Rodgers. You know, Mr. Anti-vax. Now I'm going to grow a beard to show you how rebellious I am.
Right.
Isn't it flat earth also?
I probably
something along those lines.
Yeah.
I'm you know what? And the thing is, you might be right, but I'm reluctant to throw the flat earther thing around, just because that's a whole other level of fuckery. And if we're wrong, wrong on that, then you know, that's not something we should fuck around with.
Right.
We're not 100% sure.
That's true.
Yeah, and that's all on that. But
just jokes.
Exactly. But I mean, Aaron Rodgers isn't watching Beef Wine and Shenanigans. That would be hilarious.
That would be awesome.
Hilarious, though.
Yeah.
Like, so first of all, you 4 black blah blah blahs, I just want to tell you that would be great publicity. Don't get it twisted.
Oh yeah.
We have
a lot of good. We have some viewers that are definitely like Packers fans.
If you're a famous MAGA person, please feel free. Bring the smoke. Bring the smoke.
www.beefwineshenanigans.com.
Come with your bullshit.
Yeah, at that point, we ain't doing no Zooms. We're gonna do it in person because we're gonna get some tussling in.
We're
gonna get some tussling in.
You know what? I officially make you in charge of that, Kirk. Yes, Mark.
I was going to say, speaking of comedy, Jets player Michael Clemens.
Oh shit.
Y'all have to see this video, man. It's him walking up and down the sidelines. They're losing to the Browns, and he's just pointing to random people in the crowd and going, "Fuck you." Fuck you. But the way he did it, like, there's this one that just keeps making me laugh because he points to this person and he's like, no, you, no, you, yeah, you. Fuck you. It's
but Mark, that's not as bad as the owner of the Panthers throwing a drink at somebody.
Yeah. Oh my stars.
Nothing as bad as that.
And how much did that cost him?
$300K.
What?
To throw a drink at somebody. I mean, and it's wild because when you think back in the day, you watch like random TV shows like Dynasty, they were throwing drinks in each other's faces every other fucking 10 minutes.
You bitch. Yeah.
I feel in the 70s and 80s, all men had drinks thrown in their faces.
Thrown in their face. What I'm trying to figure.
My dad probably has a
I was a child. And I probably got, like, you know, a Capri Sun thrown in my face.
Yes.
You know,
but wait a minute.
General course of business.
What I'm trying to figure out is, where is the owner sitting? Because don't you have a box?
Right.
Why are you doing drinks on fans? You got a skybox. Like, did he come out the skybox and go down?
Right.
So that's
he probably did.
That's the first problem. He's got a better arm than his quarterback.
They only won 2 games. Trash.
True.
Okay.
The Panthers are trash. Wow.
The Panthers are trash.
Yes. Atlanta Panthers.
Yes.
Complete
And my
trash.
New Orleans Saints, they stomped the Falcons in the last game of the season.
What's the score?
It was 48-17.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. A couple
Excuse
of games
me.
this season, they've had
Oh my
these
God.
really
Like
ridiculous scores.
lopsided, yeah.
I forget who the teams were.
One of them was Miami.
But it was there was a game that was 63-21. And
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. I think Miami had a game like that, and the Cowboys had a game like that.
And I remember walking into the
Giants
I'm doing a football show.
Right.
Giants had a bad one. Yeah.
They had that. Go ahead.
It was a Cowboys, actually. Giants
It was
and
a
Cowboys.
Cowboys game.
Yeah.
The first game of the season.
Yeah.
It was just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what y'all doing?
Stephen A. Smith was quiet real quick that time.
Oh.
Stephen A. Smith was quiet for a while. Like, oh, man.
That's right. Because quiet as it's kept, Kirk gets to see Stephen A. Smith every few days or whatever.
Yeah.
But
actually, yeah, and the big part, my big joy is actually seeing him talk shit about Cowboys, because I don't like the Cowboys either. Oh, I don't like Cowboy fans. I don't like Cowboy fans either.
Oh no. If you are from New York,
No.
you remember the old days of Emmitt Smith, who was probably the only Cowboy that didn't have a criminal record. And seriously, I remember somebody saying that the Cowboys have so many criminals on their team, Batman should go after them.
Oh my God.
Justice League versus the Cowboys. That was
the Cowboys.
Hanna-Barbera brings you Justice League against the most devious and most nefarious organization in America, the Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Michael Irving, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell the rest of your teammates about me. Who are you? I'm Batman. Yeah.
Holy punting, Batman. Holy punting, Batman.
Holy special teams, Batman.
Yes. Holy kickoff, Batman.
I can't go after the Cowboys this weekend. Why not? It's on a bye week. But next week, I'll be at the stadium waiting for you.
Oh my God.
Oh my stars.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hear the end of it from my Cowboys fans. Oh my God.
In general, yeah, New Yorkers, we hate the Cowboys. Unless, you're one of those New Yorkers that just wants to because they've had good seasons.
No,
they've had good seasons. They haven't won a Super Bowl since God knows when, but they've had really good seasons. Sure. But it's just funny because it's like,
how you gonna be America's team and can't win a championship?
But
you know why? Because they're still banning books. That's why. Because nobody can read the playbook, so they all just use diagrams. It's all just pictures.
But I'll tell you what, as all of us are clearly anti-Cowboys, I do have to. It occurs to me to ask this question: if it's the Cowboys versus the Patriots.
Well, Bill Belichick is losing his job after today, and Brady no longer plays for them. So I think I would choose the Patriots over the Cowboys. As in a team you have to choose to root for?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're talking about next year. Is that what you're saying, Denise? Because
Patriots are trash this year too.
Patriots
did
were
not
trash.
Do well at all.
The Patriots were complete trash, and I got to tell you, the show
Cowboys
the analysts from my show this morning, there was this constant back and forth of whether or not Belichick gets fired, whether the Patriots need to move on. And
this afternoon they're saying they're not going to keep him. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. You'll see it tomorrow.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, my guys this morning, Sunday being Sunday the 7th.
Sunday morning, yeah.
Yeah, they were not committing. They were tossing it around like fucking catnip. But no one was committing to whether or not Belichick does. I mean, I want to say even Phil Simms, because he visits, he was like, no, well, Bill, everybody was being super diplomatic. And I don't know if that's just because Bill Belichick has like Sith lords that will come get your ass.
He probably does.
You talk shit about him on television.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Exactly, son.
Don't threaten me with your Super Bowl wins, Belichick. Your sad devotion to that team hasn't conjured you up a new Super Bowl trophy or giving you clairvoyance.
You know what?
Lack of faith.
The way Stephen A. Smith talks about the owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
yeah, no, the owner.
Oh, you're
like
talking about
Jerry.
Jerry.
Yeah, like for real. It's kind of like he doesn't like. He's cool with some of the players in the Dallas Cowboys. He hates the fans, but he loves the owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
He loves the
Jerry Jones,
dude.
Really?
Dude, he was on TV. Remember that time they
little
talked about
kid
him?
Jerry Jones in the background of a fucking full-on protest as a black kid's trying to go into a segregated school. Jerry Jones?
When there was a debate about that, Stephen A. Smith was his defense attorney.
No, don't tell me he was caping.
He was fucking Matlock. He was Matlock for Jerry Jones.
What?
Oh my God.
And I remember sitting there like this. Is this why you got rid of Max Kellerman? Because Max got invited to the cookout. Your card got rescinded.
Dude,
for real.
Really?
It's kind of like,
I did not know that.
No matter how fucked up Jerry Jones, the team is, or what Jerry Jones might do, or whatever, it's kind of like he said one time. I'm when Jerry Jones is in the helicopter, and I want to be in the helicopter with Jerry Jones, I'm like, nigga.
You're like, are you for real?
Yeah, right. Hold on. Look. I'm doing an email and shit to all the black people. I'm tweeting shit like, yo, you believe this shit? Yes, Ninja just did what?
Oh, wow.
And I like Stephen A. Smith. I understand where you come from. He's cool. I like him, but like that was like something I was like, sorry, bro. I got to side eye you on that. Yeah,
right.
I gotta expel you from Atlantis for that one.
Expel you from Atlantis.
You exiled from Morocco, from Mauritania, Atlantis for a while, man. You can't. You
have to call Bane on him.
Yeah,
Sir Stephen Smith, why you would even decide to join Jerry Jones?
Dear Drop Squad, can you just give a light abduction to?
Hold on, you say the Drop Squad?
The Drop Squad.
A light drop on him.
Oh my stars.
So yes,
yeah.
But you know what? That's why, even though Stephen A. Smith is a brother and the whole thing and whole nine, I gotta admit, when John Oliver rips him to pieces, I'm on board. I'm just like, yeah, man.
Hey, he's a full ass capitalist. He's a full capitalist. So he's full on,
and that's fine because
all the way.
Once you get in front of capitalism,
right,
you're good.
You
good.
Right.
You're good.
Right. Must be nice.
Oh yeah, with everybody else behind him.
It's motherfuckers like the four of us. On the other hand,
I bet you 10 to 1 Jerry Jones got insurance on the Cowboys losing. Like every time they don't make it, he gets paid.
Yeah,
I mean they won
I can see
today,
that.
so
Well,
they're going.
They actually had a good season. They actually had a good season.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They can have a good season. You just can't make it to the playoffs.
I think what we're looking at.
Right.
I think what we're looking at is the Texas version of the New York Mets.
Ooh.
We get to no, because I'm a lifelong Mets fan. And every time we get to
I forgot you were a glutton for punishment like that.
we get to the what is it? The All-Star game. We get up to the All-Star game. Mets are leading. They got their stride in. Then the All-Star game ends. And all of a sudden, the team is like, well, we can take the rest of the season off, right? No, keep playing. What are y'all doing? And then everything just completely crashes and burns. And we're sitting there like,
I just thought about something. Yeah. You know what? The Mets are like the Dunedain of baseball. In the second age, the Dunedain were the descendants of Gondor, and they're just catching L's. They caught so many L's, they only had one nigga left, and that was like Aragorn. Like they literally lost a second kingdom and had Gondor left. Was the only Dunedain kingdom was Gondor, and half them niggas in Gondor weren't even Dunedain no more. That's, the Mets are wow. You know what? One day in the fourth age, the Mets will win a championship. Gandalf will fall from the sky, defeating the Balrog of Yankees past, and bless the Mets with the one and true king. What? The return of the king. And he will save the Mets from their abysmal existence.
And ladies and gentlemen,
of the L.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is the essence of Beef, Wine, and Shenanigans in a nutshell. The fact that we just rattled on about sports stuff longer than we've ever done on this podcast, but then managed to circle back to Lord of the fucking Rings. That is why when it comes to black nerddom, you can't fuck with us. And I stand on business. I stand on that statement.
I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna back up what Laughing Boy over here just said, and I will go back to saying that the Cowboys, if they make it past the playoffs, will quote the great Gandalf by going, I have no memory of this place.
Oh shit.
Something's been following us. That's the Super Bowl trophy. It's like, it once belonged to us once, but then became corrupted. The team hates and loves the trophy just as much as they hate and love themselves.
Oh shit. Jerry Jones is the Denethor of Texas.
Oh my God.
He's like the steward he's just the steward of the Cowboys until a real leader comes.
Oh, he's the steward of the Cowboys.
Oh,
well, that's the Patriots now. Right. I guess you came to tell me why we can't seem to win a championship without our former quarterback. It is our fault, my lord. Shut up.
In the dim void of time, we lost the one and true king of Patriots. And now we sit and wait.
I gotta admit, I'm a little uncomfortable with casting Tom Brady as Aragorn, but which that kind of seems like where we were going there for a second.
But that's
I guess we can use that.
It's hilarious, but I just, you know,
we can use it for
this guy had a MAGA hat in his damn locker.
I know.
We can use that for the Panthers too. The Panthers. When we talk about the Panthers,
oh my God,
it'll be Legolas.
Right.
The Panthers were a great team once.
They were shining.
But and the Kings all came to them for help. But when the Panthers' need was dire, they turned their back on the entire NFL. And now All that remains is a shadow of this group. That's why they live in the mountains.
Right. A
Oh
shadow
my
fell.
God.
A shadow fell over Atlanta.
So
there was a
Hey,
disturbance in the force.
since we're on a football kick, Denise, like,
Yes.
so how are you feeling about this? I realize they beat Atlanta, but then again, I feel
Huge,
like that was.
humongous rivalry.
I
Yeah.
feel like no, exactly. But I also feel like it was kind of inconsequential just because of the way the rest of the season ran for them.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
wait, hey, Denise, did
I mean,
did
no,
one of the
no,
witches come
no
back?
shade, no shit, no shade. I'm
Who the
happy
witches
for
at?
you. I'm happy for you because you're on my team and it's all good.
Yes, absolutely.
And all that, and my love for New Orleans
Yes.
is
Mhm.
heavy. Is heavy.
Yes.
The things that I have experienced, and I've only been there on work trips,
Mhm.
Oh,
and I
nice.
have managed to have more fun on those work trips than I have had in some instances, like in a random week of New York, and I know New York. You know what I'm saying? I
That's
got
how New Orleans is.
friends
That's
and
totally how
family
it
in New York.
is.
But I mean, yeah, New Orleans is just if
That's just a whole different level.
thought I could survive in New Orleans, I'd be living there now.
Yeah.
Cosign
Me
all the
too.
way. Cosign. You know
Me
what?
too, for
Maybe
sure.
the Saints should maybe start painting their jerseys like Haint blue or something. to help with the I don't know, man. Maybe there has to have some shit going
Oh
on, man, because you
gosh.
can't be not having a season like what was the year that they won the Super Bowl? What year was that?
2006.
Yeah.
2005, 2006. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they had Drew
Yeah.
Brees and it was amazing.
When
It was awesome.
Yeah, the nigga
Yeah.
named Breeze
Breezy like
as
a
your
Sunday
quarterback.
morning. Yeah,
As your
Drew
quarterback.
Brees.
Right.
We miss him so much.
All right. Well, since we're on that, segue to the current day situation with the Denver Broncos.
Oh.
Yeah. So
What
I,
happened
as a fan, I'm so angry and so mad that our coach, Sean Payton, he retired with the Saints, and then the Broncos, they wanted to hire him, so they had to pay off his contract with the Saints, and he took over the Broncos, and he was horrible to Russell Wilson, their
Right.
quarterback. He
Yes.
didn't take him under his wing. He yelled and shouted at him on one of the games. Like you could see it was like it's demoralizing. It was horrible. Yeah, and the Broncos, they're trash too.
So random thing that I just happened to catch, as I'm scrolling through X, Y, and Z. They were saying how like this one sports writer whose name I don't remember at the moment, but it was almost like he was trying to justify Sean Payton's treatment of Russell Wilson.
Okay.
And by the way, and I'm not necessarily going to cape for Russell Wilson,
Right.
but I do have to preface that Russell Wilson's general treatment by the world has bothered me.
Oh,
because
yeah.
So as we all may or may not know, he's married to R&B superstar Ciara.
Yep.
Who
one of the few black quarterbacks.
Yeah. Who used to be down with Future. Who, well, if we're going to get, truthful about it, Future treated Ciara a certain kind of way.
Oh.
And you know what? It's like I tend to, in entertainment, I tend to take that kind of stuff with a grain of salt, because this Negro literally said in one of his songs, something about, I mess with girls from different races. And in this whole, like, I can't remember the actual verse, but it literally was, he was literally announcing to the world that he's community dick.
Oh no.
And that's the thing. It's like if you with a cat that literally comes out and says that does, you know, it's like, because Sierra could have anybody.
Right.
Very attractive woman who could literally have anybody. But she ends up with Future, and I feel like part of that is because, well, you know, Future's cool. You know,
He's probably a lot of fun to be with.
He is. He's probably a blast.
Yeah.
But you know, I was like, but that's what happens when you get with a hip hop cat. That's what happens when you get with a professional athlete. If that's what you're gonna chase, you have to kind of, you know, and then she ends up with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And I remember, because I was actually stage managing this, and she was on The View, and she was talking about, all of a sudden she's talking about God and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, that's fantastic. That's great. You and Russell Wilson are clearly happy. But all these other Black men with different podcasts and all this other stuff, you know, they're talking about how Russell Wilson is corny. Russell Wilson has Super Bowl rings. Russell Wilson.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Because he stands on business as far as his, and I'm not the most religious person. I don't, outside of maybe Mark, I don't think any of us are that big on the church or this and that, blah, blah, blah. But this dude has already accomplished more in professional football, not even like badminton or some shit. Professional football.
Yeah.
This guy has accomplished amazing, world-breaking things. Yet, our own community, because he's not on some Diddy shit, he gets played. He gets talked about in this fucked up manner. So now, of course, and again, I always kind of look at how Black men end up being treated sometimes in the public eye. So now we have Sean Payton, who turned around and said, and I think the way it kind of played out was there was something in his contract having to do with like his injury. It's like, and I wish I had
like some kind of injury clause. Yeah,
it was an injury clause, and they wanted to put that aside. First of all, I don't think I've ever heard of any quarterback, black, white, whatever, that ends up getting hit with some kind of contract negotiation in the middle of the fucking season.
Right.
I've never heard of no shit like that.
No, me neither.
And I'm not trying to say, you know, I'm not trying to say I'm Joe Buck or anybody that really like, you know, has all of this all lined up that I can like, you know, spout facts like that. I don't have a color analyst cat, or I don't have a stats dude over here. I'm just going by what I think I know. But I've never heard of no fucking quarterback in the NFL being treated like that, being stepped to in the middle and on some shit you already signed.
Yeah.
Any other contract, any other place in the world, you know, from the fucking random IOUs on napkins and bars to you know, to this. I've never heard of nobody saying in the middle of the contract run, hey, by the way, can we do this? And then they bench the motherfucker?
Right. Yeah. They say, do this or we're going to bench you.
Right.
Yeah.
And
so he's benched, but he shows up like totally suited up, helmet, ready to go on the sideline.
And it's amazing.
Crazy.
It is amazing. And, you know, so obviously he's leaving if just on the matter of self-respect.
Yeah.
You know, he's got to leave the Broncos.
Yeah.
And there's other teams, and there's other teams like the Carolina Panthers, for one, who probably be on, hey Russ, how you doing? They gonna slide in his DMs
Yeah.
Like they go slide his DMs like an ex-girlfriend and be like, Russ, check this out.
Hey.
Check this out.
No. Dude, that's like earthquake. That's like earthquake stepping into your DMs. You're like, nigga, you can't read. Why'd you pick the Panthers of all people?
I don't know. It's just like any other thing. If they finally come to their senses, figure out how to build a team around somebody, I don't know.
Or the Jets. He can go to the Jets.
Dude, again, I'm not trying to. Right, exactly. How's Aaron Rodgers feeling?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, exactly. I mean, I don't know what the future holds for Russell Wilson, but I definitely, as a cat that can appreciate where he is and where he's coming from, I have to say, I wish the world were better to him, and I wish him all luck in the world.
Yeah, because there's no way that like Sean Payton would never speak to Drew Brees that way. Never. Good day, bad day.
Publicly humiliate Drew Brees. Think about that.
Never, ever, ever. So for him to do that to Russell Wilson, who has more rings, come on, man. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that honestly, that makes you think where Sean Payton really is mentally. You got to think about that. Like, it's Sean Payton. You got to ask these questions. You got to like, wait, so I see you humiliating a black man on television. And who are you voting for?
Right.
Yeah.
Who you voting for?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kirk brought up the segue. we're gonna tackle next because he mentioned earthquake, and which me Kirk wants to get into this, so we gonna do this right now. So something that happened very recently, and the funny thing is it's Shannon Sharp that's also in the middle of this.
Oh yeah,
he's a football dude. So this is Segway City right now.
Segway City.
So Shannon Sharp interviewed Katt Williams. First of all, I didn't even know Shannon Sharp had a podcast, and it's
me neither.
It's Shay something. Club Shay. Which, that's interesting all in of itself that he decided on that name.
Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, and
Shannon Sharp.
Club Shay.
Look, big man, little shirt. Big man, little shirt.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're in medium.
He's definitely.
He's on ESPN, so he actually does first take couple of months, couple of days in a month. At the Seaport.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you, that suit ain't gonna fit you, bro.
Oh,
that suit ain't meant for you.
It's not gonna fit.
Why you
not gonna fit?
Why you wearing your right? Why you wearing your anorexic sons?
Did he crack his shit? Did he crack his shit open at any point? Because
no.
I feel like Kyle Long did that once,
bro. I think his suits are made of like that special. His suit is made out of that special material that the Flash uses.
Oh shit!
Like it's resistant to certain pressures and energetic combustibles. You know what I mean? So he can move that shit like the Hulk and it'll stretch with his body.
You got a spandex.
Yeah, right. The magic of spandex.
It's spandex.
It's a spandex. It's spandex.
So it's like a John Wick suit.
Right.
Just adjust to the musculature.
He doesn't need any weapons.
It's a superhero suit. It contracts and conforms to his shape whenever he morphs. Like it's some shit that David Banner needs.
Right.
Bruce Banner has the pants like that, but not the rest of the suit.
But not the shirt. Yeah.
Right. Because Bruce Banner can't afford that for the whole suit, but Shannon Sharp can.
Right.
Shannon Sharp. Well,
David Banner's always losing his wallet when he changes. But no, in all seriousness, this Katt Williams interview, and I mean, we all know Katt Williams is a brilliant, brilliant fucking guy.
He's
At
hilarious.
the end of the day, he's hilarious, and he's actually really, really fucking smart.
Yeah.
Got an Emmy
now,
for Atlanta, for his role in Atlanta.
Right. How about that?
Oh, I forgot about
Emmy
that.
for that.
Wow.
But look, there are certain things I found incredibly amusing. But at the end of the day, two things stick in my mind, and these two things actually, well, the two that I'll launch off, and then we can do other shit. But and I had a conversation with my current employer, Tamron Hall, about this.
Oh,
and she brought up two very good points. One, there was no reason to air the whole 2 hours and 46 minutes.
Right.
And to that point, now and don't get it twisted. Somebody comes on the Tamron Hall show and they say something inflammatory. More than likely, that shit's getting cut. It dies on it unless they come out and do it on the live show, which doesn't really happen for whatever reason. But anybody saying something too crazy and we're not live, you will that never sees the light of day.
That makes sense.
And part of that is, and she made this good point. She's like, you want to protect people from themselves.
Ooh, that's deep.
Yes. And then the other side of that is, of course, the Tamron Hall show airs on ABC, which is a Disney fucking entity. So you're only going to go, but so random,
right?
But on any Disney venue, that's facts. That's just facts. The other thing she had issue with, and I kind of I understand this, is Katt Williams attacking the wives.
I'm sorry.
But it was funny.
And dude, I'm clearly going to hell because I laughed my ass off.
Yeah.
And especially when Katt Williams pointed out that he wasn't even talking about just one fucking dude. Like he was literally talking about 7 other motherfuckers.
Yes.
Yeah.
That shit was wild.
I was like, well, damn, that's why I'm not married.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but just like, wow. Ooh.
It was rough, rugged, and raw, and a lot of cats, as Shannon Sharp said, caught strays.
Yeah, they did.
Ludicrous.
Ludicrous.
Yes.
Now, okay. Now here's the thing. That Illuminati talk, he lost me. He lost me on that.
Man.
Because that's where you're. Even if that shit is true, sometimes you got to understand you might know some crazy shit, but you know that if you say it in certain areas and certain contexts, people are gonna be looking at you like, the fuck are you talking about?
Right. It was supposed to be like Fight Club. You're not supposed to talk about it if it was real.
Right. If it's real, you know. I gotta admit, my big concern about this whole thing is that all of a sudden, Black men comedy as a microcosm, all of a sudden we become 90s hip-hop.
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean by
what I mean
feuding?
Is
feuding?
Feuding that may get physical, because
no, I don't think so. No.
I think they're too old.
Okay, let's hope that's one of the reasons this doesn't get stupid. But if Earthquake or Faison catch Katt Williams somewhere,
Hey, he went into a library.
Oh shit.
Earthquake standing out in front of a library and figure out where the fuck Katt went into, and Katt's right behind the door like this. That nigga can't read. Coach.
It's like vampires in church.
Yes. I can't go in there, guys. I can't go in there.
Sorry,
I can't go in there. I can't make it. As much as I want to beat Katt Williams up, I can't get
in there.
I can't go in the library.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god. Yo, that's wild, Kirk. That's wild.
That was hilarious. He said that's why he can't get no scripts, because he can't read. When he said that, I was like, all right, man. Oh no.
No, and true story, I had to take the headphones off for a second. Like, I was like, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of strays.
I'll say this.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest question was why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Here's my problem. While it was a lot of what he said was funny, two things. One, Shannon let that get away from him. That's a sign of a bad. That's a sign of a very bad interviewer.
Yeah.
If you can't wrangle your guest in and you let them run off like that, that's a problem. First of all. Second, if you were supposed to be who you are, if you are standing on this pillar of being great or whatever, there's this thing called humility. And to publicly just embarrass everyone the way you did,
yeah,
in my opinion, that doesn't make you great. Like, I kept sitting there going, but you keep reiterating that you don't need to, I'm Katt Williams, I got this, I got that. I'm like, then why are you degrading everybody else? And I get the point about somebody saying, oh, you lied on me. I want to set the record straight about a couple of things.
Right.
I get that. One question I kept asking myself. Now, according to him, he says, and he gonna come after me for this because he gonna watch this. Who the fuck is Mark Abbott? Mark Abbott ain't shit. You read his horror? You read his horror? He called himself a horror writer. He can't write no horror.
I can read a book.
The scariest thing about Mark Abbott is his language. There is okay. Wow. So
okay, Eminem.
So yeah, pretty much. Now you ain't got nothing to talk about me. But here was my question. According to him, next Friday was his first film.
Right.
I don't ever recall anyone ever on their first film having that much say.
Right.
Like when he started talking about, I wrote my own lines, this, that, the other thing, and I'm like, this your first film? And they just let you create the character whatever way, put whatever makeup.
And Shannon
Friday 2.
Yeah.
In Friday 2, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm like,
he was supposed to get raped and he wasn't raped.
They give you that much creative freedom to do that. Again, I ain't calling him a liar, but I think there's some embellishment there over what they allowed you to get away with on their movie. They brought in, and especially if you said you were one of hundreds of guys that went out for the role. But I just couldn't figure out. I was like, what are you mad about actually? Because
I think, and I don't think anybody saw the Ricky Smiley interview with Shannon.
No, I understood him being upset over saying, yo, let's clear something up about what Ricky told y'all. But then but then it became a succession of just going like hitting cats one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. And to the point where, I mean, don't get me wrong, I thought it was funny. But I started to question, I'm like, well, what is the point of all of this that you're saying? Because again, you calling out, like, as far as I know, I've never heard Kevin Hart or any of these guys say something about you.
Like Tiffany Haddish.
Right.
Now, and he went in on Tiffany Haddish a few years ago. Like calling her unfunny and all this other stuff. And then you start to do things like, well, I got 17 shows. How many does Cedric the Entertainer have? I'm like, but y'all all move in different ways. Like, y'all are not.
It sounds like bitter roots.
Like, you're comparing yourself, your success. Like, you should be proud of the success you got. Because yes, they would not call a Steve Harvey to be on Atlanta. They wouldn't put these particular comedians on. Yeah, dude stole one of my jokes. I gave him a pass, this, that, the other thing. But to Steven's point, like, he literally said he would have punched Cedric if, because after he gave him a pass. And my thing was like, there's also a thing called slander. And there's a responsibility on both ends. There's a responsibility to Shannon before you drop that whole thing. Because even I caught what was really crazy was that one of the guys on the sideline told him, you need to clarify what you were talking about by the King of Comedy. Because you said that this happened X, Y, and Z, and that movie came out in 2000. So that had to have been the 90s you're talking about. Just to clarify, because you have this
little fact check happened. You're right.
Because you are sitting there drinking liquor. And and I get the whole thing, like you feel like you're safe. Katt is a safe comedian in the sense that he does not have to worry about the things like the Dave Chappelle's and everybody else who have these mainstream $1 million contracts with Netflix and stuff like that. So he could talk all of that. He can.
Well, he also made it clear he was not trying to have any smoke with Chappelle.
No,
like he was like,
no. Because, well, let's be clear. Because Chappelle is the type of dude that will, on his second show, you will be the first 30 minutes of his show. And he will call you out for every little thing you did and then some. So you definitely don't want to go the route of messing with somebody. Like, he knew who he could mess with. And because he's not looking to get a contract with ABC or NBC or be on TV, this, that, the other thing, when I say he's safe, he's this entity on the outside that can say all of this because it's not really going to affect him. Atlanta was on FX. So, that's not really a thing. But at some point,
No, FX not really.
No. I'm saying FX is a cable state. Like, they're not
versus like
mainstream
Netflix
television.
or Amazon.
They're not
movies and streaming.
They're not like
like
he's not going to be on like the CW or they're not going to have the Katt Williams show or this, that, the other thing. He might in a few years, just like Red Fox, won't get a very nice lucrative contract. But then, to the point, Shannon asked him, would you have bought the rights to like the comedy shows? And he was like, and his response was, well, they didn't ask me. To which, if I were the interviewer, I'm like, I didn't ask you that. I'm asking you, would you have bought them to do what you wanted to do? Because I guess any one of those comedians could come back and be like, well, yeah, he's doing arenas and everything, but that's about as far as you can go. Ain't nobody asking you to be on anything, because why is nobody asking you to be on a TV show or be on a comedy special with them or this, that, the other thing? There's a toxicity there that he showed in that interview that I'm like, I get where you're going,
but
that is only going. What was it that what's his name said in The Boys? That's
that's a white man's
white man's problem.
Yeah.
White man privilege. That's
White
white
man.
man.
Because you're not going to do that to those comedians.
Right.
Well,
you know where your boundaries are.
I feel that's a funny thing. I feel actually the entire business of entertainment is already a toxic situation from jump.
It is.
Yeah.
From jump.
Right.
So him kind of like choosing, for lack of a better term, the black venues that he plays, right? Because he has specials on Netflix and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And most of the audience that he goes with, or his base, are mostly black audiences.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So part of it is, I've seen him on other couple of movies and stuff. He play like a small role and stuff like that, and him not, just him not wanting to play that game and stay in that kind of arena is on him. That's one thing.
Yeah.
The other thing is having people lie about their place to hide or to big themselves up is probably another thing that pisses him off. Because I remember one of the things that he did mention, how angry he was about how they treated Bernie Mac.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
On Kings of Comedy.
Yeah. He
Right?
was big on that.
He loves Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
And
he
brought up that thing about the Cooper show.
Yes.
Hanging Mr. Cooper. Yeah.
Right. He gave roses to people it wasn't all everybody catching strays.
That's true.
That's true.
He gave his flowers to some people and set the record straight on others who are questionable, I guess, in their businesses, right?
And not for nothing, I'm hearing, General Scuttlebutt, because there's parts of that fucking long ass rant that and especially like the Illuminati thing and Ludacris cutting his hair. I can't necessarily speak to all that, but other people, like in the undercurrent of entertainment, they've come out to cape for Mark Cooper.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've come out.
Right, and it's not like and the sad thing is,
Mark Curry, it was hanging with Mr. Cooper. I'm sorry.
It's cool. Cool.
But we've heard. I want to say, like in the '90s, we've heard stuff like this weird shit, this Illuminati shit. And I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy,
right?
But after hearing about the Jeff Epstein, and then knowing about what we know about the World Bank and their dealings with countries, third world countries, you can't help but think that there might be some truth to an idea that they are like there's a corporation. There is, I don't want to say cabal, but there is a boardroom, a board of execs who sit around and think about shit like this, who choose who they want to choose, ask who they want to ask to do a certain thing or not. And I don't think it's for like nefarious reasons, like fucking creating a weather machine or going to Mars, but just to accumulate more money.
Well,
just to keep building on what they have, right? And I like I said, and I wouldn't be surprised that they probably approached him and he said, "Nah, I ain't fuck with you because I don't trust you for these other reasons." That might not entirely be far-fetched.
Right.
Right. The only problem I really had with the whole thing was, I don't like Tyler Perry's movies. I don't. But I have not heard anybody say that he doesn't pay people. They had this thing where he paid Cicely Tyson more money for a project that she's ever been given for even a scene in a big budget movie.
That's awesome.
Right? And hearing about how Taraji P. Henson has to always fight for these other Hollywood producers to get her money, but Tyler Perry's paying her.
But he pays her, yeah.
I remember that one guy he in Back to Friday 2 next Friday. The brother with the curly hair, Nicka, with the gun. We see him in and he's dark skinned brother. We've seen him in all the other movies.
Yeah.
I remember when he came out, he said, "Fuck Spike Lee," because Spike Lee didn't pay him as much for the roles that he played in Spike Lee movies as Tyler Perry paid him.
Well, you know, honestly, the Spike Lee thing has been for years.
Right,
I've heard,
you know what I mean? So my thing is, and I mean, and my thing really is, you know, you can get on Ricky Smiley for whatever lies you don't tell, but for an actor to choose to play a woman on screen for whatever, I was like, you know, that feels a lot like toxic masculinity to me. That's all.
But wait, what killed me? And Shannon asked this question: why would you put in your contract that the only way I'm gonna be on screen with him? That to me, that sounds like you're humiliating him.
Yeah,
you know. So the dude, so like, I'm like, why would you?
Like, there has to be more something more going on that he didn't mention.
Yes,
there's something else that happened.
It's something else that he don't want to talk about.
Indeed.
Right?
To me, like the whole thing just feels like he just kept going and going and going, and it gave me like that feeling of like when Jada Pinkett Smith comes out, like your stomach's like, oh gosh, she's talking again. What is she gonna say now? It's like something totally random out of left field. It's like, this is how we're starting 2024. Like, I was entertained, but it's like, dude, come on, drink some water, take a nap.
But I didn't get the impression that he was fucked up.
No, nothing fucked up. But like just totally just
like,
random, and he just had to get all this off his chest and out of his soul. But it's like,
right. I feel like we're in a place, like I was telling this one cab driver, you know, culturally, I think in American culture, we're in a transitional phase where we've taken the idea of 15 minutes of fame to another level. When they talk about, remember we used to say, all press is good press, bad press is good press. You know what I mean? It's gone to I think, and this is like the thing about capitalism, is it doesn't stop at one place. It always evolves and keeps going further and further to the extremes of where you can go, where people are going to take it where they're going to take it, right? There's no regulations at all on how your code of conduct.
Right.
The idea of the code of conduct in entertainment has been eliminated. It's done. So you can go. So now you have people going so far as they can, regardless of what publicity is. If it's bad publicity and you get on front pages, do it.
Well, it's not even
publicity and the front pages, do it. And it's more along the lines of, let me see how much I can rile up. Like
how much of the spotlight can I get?
It's more like I no longer have a fear of backlash and acting out of pocket, because it's going to get me likes, or it's going to get me the publicity I want. So I can act out of pocket now however I fucking want.
Right.
Because we all know about Red Fox, he was blue as fuck. But when it came down to him talking on interviews and stuff, there was a code of conduct. When you're on Johnny Carson, you had a code of conduct. You're right. There were certain talk shows. I remember there was a game show, Hollywood Squares. Was it Hollywood Squares or one of those things where, you know, I remember watching it, and the innuendos were there. Like Betty White. Betty White would throw shade. Betty White threw shade like she was Ghidorah. Like she was Ghidorah flapping her wings. Like, bam, that's the shade, right? Ooh. But it never went never went so out of pocket.
Circle gets a square.
That it was like
square gets a circle.
It was never so out of pocket. That was like people look at you side eye.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I feel. I feel like now the idea of code of conduct is out the window as long as you get followers, likes, you get people, you know what I mean? And it's the gradual progression of this thing.
Well, circling
that's
back
what it feels
to the whole 15 minutes of fame concept, I believe that was an Andy Warhol thing.
Yeah.
I want to say. And the world was a different place, you know. Yeah. So I think if Andy Warhol were examining the situation that we live in now, I want to say he would have said something. I don't know if he would have elongated it to like 50 minutes of fame. I don't know what he would have said, but he definitely would have come up with a different saying. I want to, at least that's my thought on it.
I know exactly what he would say. I know exactly what you'd say.
Oh no.
You'd be like, ladies and gentlemen, the barbarians have breached the gate.
Oh yeah.
Because once we had barbarians
Okay.
at the gate, the barbarians ain't at the gate no more. Them motherfuckers is in the house.
Right.
Oof.
And
Oh,
all of that kind of all of that I want to say kind of comes back to the whole point of the whole look. We can question Shannon Sharpe airing the whole 2 hours and 46 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Myself, Tamron Hall, a lot of people are probably like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know who's winning right now? Shannon Sharpe.
Yeah.
Because he has millions of hits on this fucking video right now.
It was 31.
And kind of piggybacking off what Kirk just said, that has become the new priority. So that is, for better or worse, for the detriment of Katt Williams and the whole thing, and I don't, and I hope that as we used to try to encourage these brothers back in the 90s, we used to say, keep it on the wax. Right. And, and we lost Biggie and Pac, and I hope and pray it doesn't go there. And to Denise's point, it probably won't, just because motherfuckers are old.
Right.
And the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a little worrisome, because at the end of the day, one thing about brothers, we're prideful.
Yeah.
We're prideful. And and you humiliate me in public. We have been, most Black men have been socialized to respond when we're humiliated. Not necessarily in some healthy woosah kind of way.
Right. And I want to say more men, period. Let's say men, period.
Men, period.
Yeah.
But men, period. Only reason I cut that into that particular category is because men, period, aren't involved in this particular situation. This is Black comics. And
like even Russell Wilson, though, he can't lash out. He didn't yell back.
Russell Wilson, that's a classy cat.
Yeah.
He's got another way he's going to deal with that.
And I'm sure it's going to involve a lawyer. I'm sure Sierra's at home right now, fresh from her Color Purple performance. And she's
Sierra's
like, baby, yes. Which was great, by the way, and I recommend it.
Wow.
And yeah, it's like Russell Wilson's that's a whole different kind of thing. This thing, and don't forget, comedians are insecure motherfuckers. I know this from stage managing them. I know this from going out drinking with them. They are insecure motherfuckers. So this has the potential to be a problem. I hope it doesn't go that way.
I predict this. Because Kevin Hart has a interview show as well.
Oh boy.
And Shannon. But this thing with Shannon Sharpe just literally blew him out the water.
Yeah.
Right. Because he has so. I would predict either Kevin Hart will have this new season of the podcast interview section he does. He'll either have like a special where he brings on one of the people who caught stray bullets, like Smiley, or Ludacris, or Earthquake, or it might even come to a thing where he might actually bring Katt Williams on.
Well, Katt shot bullets at him, so
I
don't know if he would want to have him. Like, he's got to be in the right frame. He's got to be in the right frame of mind.
But remember what I said.
Before he could be in control. Yeah.
There's a thing now where it's the code of conduct is out the window at this point. It's about
code of conduct
likes.
Is out of the window, but exactly.
It's about likes.
Exactly.
It's about likes.
If it's about likes and follows.
Yeah.
And
because it's like Muhammad Ali used to say, Like Muhammad Ali used to say when he used to be out there disparaging George Foreman and Joe Frazier and all these other fuckers. At the end of the day, it's about the views. So if you create that, I see, Kirk, to your point, I see that being an extreme possibility.
Yeah. And the thing is, if he was to do that, how many people you think would want to see that shit?
Shit.
Kevin Hart interviewing Katt Williams.
Yeah. And then but then that also generates money on top of it too.
Right.
I'll add to your prediction. I got a bad feeling one of these cats he talked about is going to write some of them. No, it's going to write one of the best comedy shows of his life. It's you know what it reminds me of? It reminds
me
gonna be? Because you know what this reminds me of? Remember when Jay-Z poked the bear with Nas?
Yes.
And Nas kept telling him, leave me alone. I'm not about that. And then dropped Ether.
Yes.
They said after he dropped that, he said Jay-Z's mother called him and was like, why you let that boy talk about your life? and he ain't gone near Nas since. He was like, I learned my lesson. So the funniest thing that could ever happen out of this would be earthquake.
Learn how to read?
No. But wait, what would be funny is what if Earthquake actually comes out with cue cards and reads off the cue cards?
Oh gosh.
Just to him. Then it's like,
that would you know what? That would be like the highest rated Netflix series, Netflix comedy special ever.
It would,
because Earthquake can't walk.
Man.
Oh no,
he would have to. And you know what? To your point, I hope it stays to that. I hope it just says, you know what? I'm gonna take this moment, and I'm just gonna step my game up, and I hope it doesn't turn into anything stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
And so here's the thing. I also believe Katt Williams is in a different headspace than most people at this point. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's like a need for therapy thing. I'm gonna close this out with something that happened a month ago between myself and Katt Williams.
Right.
What?
So I was filling in at the Sherry Shepherd show.
Oh.
And he was a guest.
Okay.
And I was not the lead. I'm not the lead. I'm the lead at Tamron. I'm not the lead at Sherry Shepherd. So what the distinction there as far as stage managing goes is that when you're not the lead, you're basically fetching the guest and you're setting them up for their grand entrance so they can go out there and talk to the talk show host we're talking about. All right. I go get Katt Williams and I greet him, professional, friendly, whatever. And I start walking him to his entrance. Katt Williams says to me, he asked me, do you have any advice for me? And I was like, exactly. I was like, I'm sorry, what? In my 30 some odd years of working in television, I never had nobody ask me, especially some big celebrity like that, ask me that.
Yeah.
And I was stuck on stupid for a hot second. And then I said, well, you're the great Katt Williams. I imagine you're going to go out there and be yourself.
Wow.
He follows that up with, well, what about mediocre Katt Williams? I don't even remember what I said behind that.
Wow.
But as you can imagine, this is gone surreal. This is awkward. Like, you almost want to be like, my man, do I need, are you okay?
Does he need a hug? Yeah.
Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I can't even call it stuck on stupid. I was like, wait, what? Yeah. In my head, and in my head, I was bugging, but I was remaining calm, because then that's the other thing. You gotta, I ain't got a whole lot of time to talk to him. He's got to go out there and, it's like, oh, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Katt Williams. Like, he has to be ready for that, and I need to send him. So I didn't turn it into a thing or anything like that. But I walked away, and I walked away feeling, and the wild shit was he was very sedate during the interview, and to the point where everybody was like, is he on something? Is he this? Is he that? And I also feel like that's something, because he has occasionally made a public spectacle of himself. He's struggling with people constantly, like, you know, thinking, oh, he's high, oh, he's this, oh, he's that. Like, what is wrong with this guy? I think this guy, I think his thinking is just, I mean, maybe it's just more elevated. Again, he's like one of these like Mensa cats. He's brilliant, and maybe he's just in a different place than the rest of us. But to that point, you know, I like him. I'm glad I wasn't on the list of people that he was talking about. You know?
Right.
Like, because like most folks, like if you anything like me, like you gonna be in some hurt feelings world, you know, hearing all it. And I can't even imagine whether he's telling the truth or not. I can't even imagine what some people hearing their name being called into this and this and that and whatever. You know, I mean, unless you know it in your heart that what he said is total bullshit, like I can't even imagine like that kind of like naked exposure and the vitriol and everything else like that. But I think the best thing we can say right now is that I hope this doesn't lead to anything too stupid. I hope Mark is right. I hope everybody that fucking, you know, feels some kind of way about what was said, I hope they turn around and make great Netflix specials themselves. I can see this going solidly two ways. Either it's to the detriment of Black man comedy, or it is to the elevation. And, you know, there's no way to predict, and only time will tell. And on that note, we are out of time. But I do say this. I think the four of us are kind of funny too, and I think more people should fucking tune in. And we're not talking shit about people per se. I mean, we kind of do, but it's not to the point. Not to the point where I think anybody's going to be looking for us. Who knows?
Right.
Why is Jerry Jones in Gondor?
And on that note, and by the way, Kirk, that was brilliant. That was fucking brilliant, by the way. But anyway, this has been another exciting episode. At least I found it exciting. Fuck y'all.
This is fun.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
And oh my God.
Happy New Year.
Happy
That's right.
New Year.
First show of the year.
This is the first show of 2024, folks. And there are more to come.
Not me.
This motherfucker. Anyway, all right. For Denise Tapscott, Kirk Johnson, and Mark Abbott, I'm going to thank y'all for joining us. I know we threw you talking about all that football shit. I bet y'all didn't know. Y'all didn't know we could do that. I'm actually proud we did that.
Yeah. It surprised a lot of people.
I got kicked off of football. Well, not kicked off, but I definitely got some shade working on a different football show once. And they were explaining fantasy football to me because it was like when that was first being introduced. And I was like, oh, well, this is Dungeons and Dragons for sports people. And they did not like that.
They would not like that at all. Oh my
Fuck them. I said the same thing.
I'm gonna have to.
I said the same thing.
I'll educate you. I'll take care of you.
How about this? Wait, so there's a quarterback for the Wizards? Who's your special team for the Dragons of Frost?
Oh my God.
They was mad. I was like,
yeah, they were mad. Yeah.
Y'all got beef? Come check me outside, bitch.
Oh,
actually, I said that one. I was that one, and I asked, and another kid said, No, it's what you do is you manage it now, and you're like, oh wait, so you buy Black men to play in your sport?
Oh no!
And he stopped. He looked at me. He's like, "Come on, man." I was like, "What, man? It's what you pretty much a slave master. You pretty much like Spartacus. You own a ludus, and you imaginarily buy people to play in a sport.
Oh, no.
And you get points for
and
that.
the devil will drag you under, and the devil will drag you down. Get down, sit down, sit down, sit down. You're rocking the boat. Anyway,
4 rings for the Bears, 3 for the Patriots, 2 rings for the Cowboys, and 7 rings for the New York Giants. For above all things, they acquire power, but they were all deceived. For there was the one ring in the fiery mountains, in the fiery column of Denver, in the mountains.
Stars.
all right. And on that note, now that we have officially pissed off every football fan in America,
gentlemen,
this is Beef Wine and Shenanigans. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a blast. It's been a pleasure. We'll be back. Hopefully you will join us. We love you. We mean it. Happy New Year, everybody. Peace out.
Happy New Year.
Happy